Now the blood supply of cerebellum. Blood supply is easy. There are 3 pair of arteries, right? और तीनों pair में cerebellum word use हुआ है, so it will be easy to remember. ठीक है. The first pair, if you go, down to above, when you moving from caudal to rostral, you can see here this is foramen, through the foramen magnum. These were the 2 vertebral arteries that enter in the cranium, and they were running on the anterolateral sulcus, right? So they give this median branches, they together joined to form the anterior spinal artery. This was running in the median anterior median fissure, longitudinal fissure of the medulla, but we are talking is about this lateral branches, and these are the largest and the longest branches of the vertebral arteries, and this is called posterior inferior cerebellar arteries. So posterior inferior cerebellar arteries, you can see they have a tortuous course, and they are running on the inferior surface of the cerebellum, right? And can you see the cerebellum? They have lots of streaks and foldings, right? ये जो striations हैं, these are all because remember they were innumerable sulci going deep into the cerebellum, and because of this gray matter was also going inside, and that makes more of space for to accommodate more of gray matter. So purpose of folding even in cerebral hemisphere, sulcus and gyri का जो purpose होता है वो gray matter को ज़्यादा surface area देने के लिए. Similar is this purpose here, and that's why this cross section is called arbor vitae. So now you see is this tortuosity, and tortuosity in the posterior inferior cerebellar artery क्यों होगी? एक बार मैं बता चुका था कि जो टॉर्चुसिटी होती है किसी भी वेसल्स में, उसके 2 रीजंस होते हैं. वन वाज बिकॉज ऑफ द डिस्टेंशन ऑफ द एडजॉइनिंग विसरा, जैसे कि स्प्लेनिक आर्टरी, यूट्राइन आर्टरी, फेशियल आर्टरी, लिंगुअल आर्टरी, राइट? एंड व्हाई वाज दिस टॉर्चुसिटी हियर इन द पोस्टीरियर इंफीरियर सेरेबुलर आर्टरी? विल एनीबॉडी टेल मी? बता चुका था मैं. And similar was the reason for the tortuous course of internal carotid artery. Intracranial portion, the cavernous portion of the internal carotid artery was also having a tortuous course. So what would be the reason for this tortuosity of the posterior inferior cerebellar artery? बताया था, to dampen the intra-arterial pressure of the blood gushing through these vertebral arteries. Vertebral arteries, they are the branches, the first part of the subclavian, right? So subclavian directly to the arch of aorta, and arch of aorta is through the ascending aorta. That means जो left ventricle का contraction है, उसका जो pressure आता है वो सीधे vertebral में आता है. तो these artery, if it had been straight, like they would have a lot of pressure. So this is a very delicate tissue, the nervous tissue. So to dampen the intra-arterial pressure, they have this tortuous course, so that the blood which emerges, which runs through this, becomes slow and sluggish. Got it? And same will be the purpose of the tortuosity of the internal carotid in the cavernous sinus, that was called a carotid siphon. There the purpose was 2 functions, rather 3 functions. You can remember that why it can be asked sometime, clinical type questions may. What was this purpose of the siphoning of the internal carotid artery in the carotid sinus? The 3 reasons. One reason is the same reason as I told you, to dampen the intra-arterial pressure, because it was coming right from the arch of aorta. So there was to decrease the pressure of the arterial blood is one reason, because the nervous tissue is delicate. It shouldn't be perfused with a high pressure blood. So one is this reason.
Pulsation. Yes. Sir, pulsation of cavernous sinus to drainage के लिए sir.
Yes, exactly, Osama. क्योंकि जो cavernous sinus है, because the venous blood inside the cranium, there is no pulsations anywhere, and the dural venous sinuses, no doubt they have the endothelial lining, but they do not have valves, right? तो उसमें valvular नहीं होता है जो venous circulation है cerebral intracranial. So जो cavernous sinus है, this is like a you've been taught about the cavernous sinus. It is like a centralized chamber of venous blood, from where lots of tributaries, paired and unpaired tributaries, joining and leaving through this cavernous sinus. So at this point, this this siphoning of the internal carotid artery, when it pulsates, it actually regurgitates the venous blood present in this surrounding in the cavernous sinus. So, and that impedes for the venous outflow. Got it? So the second reason was to regurgitate the blood within the cavernous sinus. Third reason is, the arterial blood that is being pumped from the heart is having a higher temperature compared to the temperature within the cranium. The brain requires a low temperature, right? So to you can say, to liberate the heat, by the time it reaches from the heart to the cerebrum, to perfuse the cerebrum, the blood during this tortuosity, and because there is surrounding its venous blood, and if you compare the temperature of arterial and venous blood has a lower of temperature and arterial blood has more temperature. So that's why it's cavernous sinus when it bathes through, and also because of the tortuosity, so slowing of blood हो गया, plus cooling of blood भी हो जाता है arterial blood में. So because periphery में क्या है, cavernous sinus. So three reasons हो गए इसके. One reason is to impede the high pressure of the artery, to decrease the amount of pressure, and the second is to regurgitate and push the venous blood from the cavernous sinus. Third is to decrease the temperature of the arterial blood in the carotids. So these were the few of the things which I needed to revise you. So one was this posterior, and don't forget that posterior inferior cerebellar artery was supplying the lateral 2/3 of cerebellum. Remember Wallenberg syndrome, याद आ गया? ये क्या जा रही थी, मीडियन एंटीरियर स्पाइनल से क्या हो रहा था, सिंड्रोम, डिजेनेरेट सिंड्रोम, याद आया?
यस सर.
हाँ, तो लेटरल में क्या जा रही है, ये posterior inferior cerebellar, so it also supplies the lateral 2/3 of the medulla, and that causes Wallenberg syndrome. और बाकी ये inferior surface of the cerebellum पे भी है. Then the two vertebrae join to form this basilar artery, which is an unpaired artery. It runs on the basilar groove of the basilar portion of the pons, right? And when the two arteries join from the first, at the pontomedullary junction, there it gives this branch called anterior inferior cerebellar artery. So anterior inferior cerebellar artery is given out at the lower portion of the pons, and it supplies, you can see, the antero-inferior portion of the इसका नाम ही है anterior inferior, so it will be easy for you. इसका नाम है posterior inferior, so it will be easy to remember that which surfaces is supplied. It supplies the posterior inferior surface of the cerebellum. It supplies perfuses the anterior inferior cerebellum. You can see this is the inferior surface. All you are seeing is inferior surface and even reaching the anterior surface. So it perfuses the anterior inferior surface of the cerebellum, and don't forget it also perfuses the pons there also. Then important relation about this artery पूछा जाता है, that it's related with abducent nerve. ठीक है? So you can say that A for artery, A for above. So artery passing above the abducent nerve, right? Then this basilar artery, when it reaches, you can see these are the perpendicular branches given out from the pontine, from this basilar artery. These are the pontine vessels. These are parapontine, then circumflex arteries, which perfuse the pons. And one of them is important artery that's called labyrinthine artery, and the labyrinthine artery will reach into the internal acoustic meatus to supply the vestibulocochlear and facial nerve in the in the acoustic meatus. So that was labyrinthine artery, and basically it's for the internal ear. Then at the upper end of the pons, where it joins this midbrain, there it gives this penultimate branch, and that is called superior cerebellar artery. Superior cerebellar artery, you can see, is at the junction of midbrain and pons, and this also winds this pons on the two sides and reaches behind to supply the cerebellum, the upper portion of the superior surface of the cerebellum, and in its course it will also supply the pons. So you've got to know about this. Then the terminal branch of basilar artery is called posterior cerebral artery. So posterior cerebral artery will be a major blood supply for mid brain, as well as when it winds, behind the crus cerebri, and it runs on the inferior surface of the cerebral hemispheres. So it's a major supply for the inferior surface of the cerebellar hemisphere, and it's a major supply of the midbrain. That is about the posterior cerebral artery. So anyways, you have three arteries with the name of cerebellar attached: superior cerebellar artery, anterior inferior, and posterior inferior. That's the blood supply of cerebellum. Now you see in the lateral view here, you're seeing is the medulla. You have this olives, pyramids. This is pontomedullary junction, the pons, and this is the midbrain with the two crus cerebri anteriorly. Can you see now the two vertebral arteries are running in the anteroinferior ventrolateral sulcus, and the two joints, the two branches join here to form the anterior spinal artery running in between, and the two arteries join to form a basilar artery, right? But remember, from the vertebral artery, the branches given out is posterior inferior cerebellar artery. So it supplies the upper portion of the medulla. Then it runs on the inferior surface, and don't forget that it is having a tortuous course. Okay. So as the name is, posterior inferior supply of the cerebellum. Then the next artery which is arising is anterior inferior, right, at the lower end of the pons. And this relationship is also given here, that it runs N for nerve, N for niche, A for artery, A for above. याद रहेगा, ये तो easy हो गया है ना. तो nerve नीचे से, artery above. So that is the relation, and there it supplies this anterior inferior portion of the cerebellum. Then here you find this is the superior cerebellar artery. Superior cerebellar artery is given out the upper portion of the pons. It supplies the pons, lower portion of the medulla, as well as the superior portion of the cerebellum. Finally, this basilar artery is terminally dividing into two posterior cerebral arteries. Remember, the relationship of oculomotor nerve is always asked. तो कहते हैं ना, इसको चिमटे की तरह से क्लैम्प कर रखा है किसने, दो आर्टरीज ने. ऑक्यूलोमोटर नर्व इमर्जेस बिटवीन, याद रखना, बिटवीन, यानी कि superior to that is posterior superior. When it emerges out, there's an artery running above oculomotor nerve, and that is posterior cerebral artery. And there's an artery running below to the oculomotor nerve, and that is superior cerebellar artery. Got it? So that's the blood supply. There are three paired arteries supplying the cerebellum. And here you see is the color coding, so that you can remember in case if it's asked, what is the major blood supply of cerebellum? Can you tell here with the help of this colored diagram?
So superior cerebellum.
So it's clear from this diagram. You can see here the dominant blood supply of cerebellum is by superior cerebellar artery. Clear हो गई. दूसरी ये है posterior inferior cerebellar artery, that is the posterior inferior surface, and anterior inferior is supplying the anterior inferior surface. So the you can say the smallest territory of perfusion is by the anterior inferior cerebellar artery. So these are the few questions which might be twisted somehow in your MCQ format. So you need to know this. Okay. And in case if it's asked, the green color area, that is the anterior portion of the medulla, and that is by anterior spinal artery and paramedial branches of the vertebral artery that supplies this. And what is the major blood supply of pons is by basilar artery, giving its pontine, paramedian, and circumflex branches from the basilar artery. Got it? So that was the blood supply of